song again. My favorite song. So this is episode number 2, podcast Rewritten. My name is Ralph, not your typical Toontown Rewritten Club Penguin Rewritten player.
Hey guys, what's up? We're back with episode number 2. It's Annie. I am exactly what you think of when you think of Toontown and Club Penguin. I've been playing for as long as I can think of.
And I've been playing only a couple of weeks, but I gotta say now, I've played a couple of other online games before, like Call of Duty type games like that, and those games are just too competitive against other people. That's kind of what turned me off about those games. But these Toontown Rewritten, Club Penguin Rewritten, and the upcoming Bearville Rewritten, they're not like that at all. I think they're absolutely fabulous.
You know, I've tried to play Call of Duty back in middle school. I played your games, and I just couldn't get the concept down. It was fun for maybe like a week or two, but nothing really brings me joy. No other game like Toontown Rewritten or any of those other games. You know, I have a Nintendo Switch, I have a DS, and those are fun, but I don't play anything quite as long as Toontown. I could just sit for hours and hours on end and play those games.
I didn't play this week as much as I wanted to. I played the past few days, but I was checking out the statistics on last week's podcast episode. Everything actually went pretty good. We got a bunch of listeners. We actually got a listener in Colombia, South America. So I've been telling everybody I know that we are the absolute number one podcast in South America.
That is amazing. Wow. Thank you, South America. That is so cool. You know, I didn't get a chance to play much either. My fiance and I actually were at the beach. I did get a little chance to play, though. I am stuck on a Toon task right now that is very overwhelming. It's actually making me a little bit sad, but we will get into that a little bit later because it's just going to make me cry right now.
So you went to the beach? Which beach did you go to?
We went to Panama City Beach, Florida. The weather is perfect right now. I wouldn't want to go any other time. Beautiful.
So did you bring your computer with you on vacation?
I did bring my computer with me, but you know what? We were not in the room, and we were just enjoying the beach life the whole time.
Right, I gotcha. You've pretty much always brought a laptop with you on vacation, even when you were a kid. You've actually played Disney's Toontown online in Disney.
I have. You know what? I remember that. We would go to Disney World. I would bring my laptop, and then after the end of a very long day, it's nothing better than to play Toontown Disney in Disney. You know, nothing better.
You know, as I was playing this past week, I've basically left, what's the first Toontown playground?
Toontown Central.
Toontown Central. I've kind of left Toontown Central and I've gone to Donald's Dock. Is that what it's called? And I noticed the streets like Silly Street and what are the other ones in Toontown Central?
Is it Loopy Lane?
Loopy Lane. Those streets, walking through those streets is kind of like walking down Main Street in the Magic Kingdom. Have you noticed that?
You know, I have, and it's very odd. Maybe other people don't feel that way, but if you are just the ultimate Disney fan, that is just how it feels. And, you know, I want to say something. I've been playing Toontown Corporate Clash, and, you know, at first I wasn't sure how to feel about it, but I absolutely love it now. You know, there's so many things I love about it, but I did notice something. There's no Disney in it. Like, on the street signs and stuff, there's no Mickey, there's nothing. I'm not sure why. So, you know, if anybody could shoot us a message and tell us why, I would be very interested to know. But otherwise, I am absolutely in love with Corporate Clash. There is another playground. It is very Renaissance. It is called Ye Old Toontown.
Oh,
very
is that
cool.
kind of like a Renaissance fair themed?
Yes, it is very Renaissance. There's like different gags. There's like a zap gag and like all kinds of different stuff. My laugh level is like 20 something right now because I started playing right before right after our episode 1, and then like right before we went to the beach.
Why don't you shoot out our email address so people can ask us questions?
Right. So our email address is allthingsrewritten@gmail.com. all things, exactly how it sounds, rewritten @gmail.com. allthingsrewritten@gmail.com.
And we also have a Facebook page, Instagram, and we have a Twitter. And we have one of those link trees.
Yes, we have a link tree as well.
So look for it. Find us. It's podcast Rewritten. Just type that into whatever social media you prefer, and you'll find us there.
Yeah, our Instagram and our Facebook is Podcast Rewritten. Those are our usernames. And then our Twitter is Podcast Rewrit. Podcast Rewrit.
What is that? Wait, what was that?
I know.
How did that happen?
So, Rewrit is Rewritt. Podcast Rewrit.
It's kind of like in the past. Podcast Rewritten.
I didn't want to put rewrote.
Right.
But I didn't want it to be that's how it kind of, like, it suggested it for me.
I got you.
That's just how it happened.
Also, we were released on a couple of new platforms this week. Google Podcasts. What are the other ones?
So we're on Spotify. There's some of them I haven't heard of, but so if you go on our Twitter, I usually post those on our Twitter. He's currently looking up the other ones. They're all on our Anchor.
Yeah, Radio Public, which is a pretty popular podcast catcher. We're on that. We were just released on Google Podcasts a day or two ago.
Wow.
And we're still waiting for approval for Apple Podcasts.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool as well. And like I said, we are the #1 podcast in South America.
#1 in South America. That's a pretty big accomplishment.
I mean, yeah, we're huge. I heard that they're having a Annie and Ralph festival
wow.
down there, so that should be fun. I don't know if we'll be able to make it, due to all the COVID restrictions, but they'll have fun.
Maybe we should try to pop in. Almost as big as Toonfest, I would say.
Well, I'm sure it's not going to be
as
big, but not really a whole bunch of things are as big.
Right.
What kind of history have we got this week?
So I wanted to talk a bit about some Club Penguin and Build-A-Bearville history this week.
Fantastic. I'd love to hear it.
So Club Penguin was released in 2005, but Disney purchased the game in 2007. So that would mean that Club Penguin was not Disney until 2007.
So when Disney took over, I guess that was kind of like the beginning of the end.
I guess so. That you could say that.
I remember back in the... So when was Club Penguin's last hurrah, or...
2017.
8, 9... So not too long ago, about 4 years ago. I remember you... weren't you there for like the final moments?
I was. And you know what? Call it silly, but it was actually quite sad. And you could go back and look in the YouTube videos. That was like, people really built up their accounts. Like, there were some people who had every rare item they would get on for every party. It doesn't sound like hard work, but like, some people really invested their time in that. And like, there's people saying, like, goodbye, I love you so much. And
that's heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking, like people made friends on here. Are you
tearing up right now?
A little bit. I'm getting choked up.
Oh my goodness gracious.
People made online friends and then, never saw them again. And Club Penguin was actually supposed to end at a certain time, but it went a little bit over. So some people thought, well, maybe they're not going to end. Maybe they changed their minds. But no, it's because the servers kind of, like, when they shut them down, they lasted just a tiny bit longer than they were supposed to.
That's the saddest thing I ever heard.
Like, the light didn't quite go out when it was supposed to.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That is terribly sad. So, I'll bet that a bulk of the people playing Club Penguin Rewritten today were the original players.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of adults on there. I remember being on there when it was supposed to shut, and it didn't shut when it was supposed to, and I was like, well, maybe they're not going to shut. Thank you so much to all these Rewritten staff. I want to say again, for taking your time, like, you're not being paid. Like, you're free volunteer time to rewrite all these games that we played as children. And, you know, there's plenty of children who play these games right now, but there's a lot of adults, you know, who depend on you to, you know, keep updating these games.
And I'm an old guy, and I play.
Yeah, you know, there's plenty. Plenty.
You think so? So you don't think I am the absolute oldest player on Toontown Rewritten?
There's no way. You know, on some of the Facebook groups or the Discords, I see people's profile pictures. You're not.
That kind of makes me a little bit upset because, like, I thought I at least had that going for me.
Okay, well, you know, maybe you're one of the oldest.
What else you have for history?
So I also wanted to point out that Club Penguin Island was released in March of 2017, and it ended in 2018.
I guess that didn't do so well.
I wasn't a big fan of Club Penguin. I mean, it was okay, Club Penguin Island, but I didn't really play it. It was kind of expensive, and again,
I'm sure. I mean, it probably wasn't expensive for you. It was more expensive for me.
Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of that. And then also Build-A-Bearville was released in 2007 and sadly ended in 2015, and I never thought I was going to see Build-A-Bearville again until recently. You know, every once in a while I would look up something about, you know, Bearville Rewritten, or I would, you know, change my spelling, Build-A-Bearville Rewritten, or, you know, something, Build-A-Bear Rewritten. So finally, maybe it was about a month ago, I looked it up again after months of, you know, every once in a while I'll look it up, and what do you know? Bearville Rewritten by some amazing staff. I think it's because the license agreement ended, and they're finally able to do it.
That could be, or I know there's some kind of clause where if you don't make money off it, you can do it, which is, I think, what Toontown Rewritten works under and Club Penguin Rewritten works under. It's like a tribute type site or tribute type game. They don't make any money off it.
Well, also, I know another reason why I thought, you know, we were never going to see this day was because I know that the staff is needing a little bit of help and having trouble finding old assets from the game. So if you have your old laptop, I know I said this in the last video, but, you know, I just want to remind any new listeners, if you have your old laptop and you played the original Bearville, then you can go on the Build-A-Bearville Rewritten team's Discord, and under their announcement section, they have a video on how to do cash recovery. And they have a video on their YouTube channel. And if you're able to successfully do this, then go to their Discord and click the support button. And from there, you can contact a staff member and they will help you.
That's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
And, you know, doing that, I guess, helps get the game out there faster. And that is absolutely what we want.
That is what we want. I know a lot of people keep asking when the game is going to be released, and, you know, they keep saying they're not really sure. I've heard a couple of the staff members say, you know, maybe 2021, and then I saw somebody else say maybe 2021, possibly early 2022. So, you know, I guess we'll see. Maybe if more people are able to find those old laptops and help out, maybe sooner. So, let's just see.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I maybe wanted to talk about something that I do. I don't know if you do it. Maybe it's more geared towards like newer players who might not be really familiar with all the different cog types. I know you've got the boss bots, sell bots, cash bots, and law bots, which I guess is supposed to be attorneys. So a lot of times during like a tune task, okay, they'll tell you what kind of cog you have to defeat, but it doesn't tell you what category cog that is. And I found an app, I think it's called ToonHQ.
Yep.
Is that what it's called? And I put that on my phone. And what I do now is while I'm playing the game, I have that app open on the side, and that tells me which cogs I can find on which street in which section, whether it be Daisy Gardens or Donald's Dock or Toontown Central, and it tells you where you're most likely to find what kind of cog. So I always keep that app open. But one thing I noticed is that it tells you what kind of cog and where it's most likely to be found, but it doesn't actually give you the names of the specific cogs. Like, for instance, the flunky, which is like the first level boss spot. It doesn't tell you like where to find them or even what they look like or which category. So for that, what I did was I Googled Toontown Rewritten cogs, and somebody published like a pretty handy chart. And I did a screenshot of that, and I kind of alternate between those two. Also integrated into that ToonHQ app is cog invasions, so you don't have to go into is it the stamp book or
your sticker book?
Sticker book, so you don't have to go on that. Click on the icon of the world and go through each server to see who's having which invasion where. Everything's updated real time on the ToonHQ app, and it's kind of like a companion to the game, which is really, really helping me a lot.
Yeah, I use that as well a lot. They also have a website, which on the app, they don't have this. They have this on the website. They have groups where, if you have trouble, like if you have a tune task where you need to defeat, say, like a 5-story boss spot building, but you've been waiting at your 5-story boss spot building for 20 minutes and nobody shows up, you have no online friends, you can just go on toonhq.com. You can you can type in your name. Now you can actually sync your tune on to ToonHQ so people could see who you are and they could see what gags you have. So your tune is there. You could say what street you're on, what district you're on, and they could join your group. They come find you, and then usually within about 10 minutes, you'll have people for your building. So you could do buildings a lot faster, and then your tasks get done a lot faster. So I really like that aspect of the website. But the app is very helpful as well.
That's fantastic.
And now they, I know for a while they weren't partnered with Corporate Clash, but now they are partnered with Corporate Clash. So I like that a lot.
So, are there different cogs in Corporate Clash as opposed to Toontown Rewritten?
There actually is. There's a lot of the same, flunkies, penny pinchers, bloodsuckers. But while I was playing, I noticed that there is different cogs. There's like board bots and some other weird ones. I think there's one called like an imposter. And then there's some of the same, but it says like EXE. I think it means executive next to it. I haven't figured out what that means yet. So, there's a lot of different aspects to it.
Well, that's I'm probably gonna hold off playing Corporate Clash right now because I'm like neck deep in Toontown Rewritten. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm actually still working on my lore gags, and I got my laugh meter up. I'm at 33 now. I just got another throw gag. Oh, and I got another squirt gag finally.
Wow.
It's the big pressurized water thing. Whatever comes after the squirt gun, whichever one that is.
Hose? Did you get the hose?
It might be the hose. I haven't actually used it yet. They give you one for free. and then you have to go buy more. But
Right.
what I'm really having a hard time with is getting jelly beans. Now, I did the Toon task where I can carry 50 at a time, okay? But now I can't seem to keep enough jelly beans in stock. What's the absolute best way to get jelly beans?
So the best way that I get jelly beans is by going to Beanfest. Beanfest is usually held in Donald's Dreamland. I've seen some Beanfests held in other places like Toontown Central, but most of the time I see them in Donald's Dreamland. So what you want to do is you want to pick the most crowded district, usually with like 300 or 400 people. And then, in your case, I'm assuming that you do not have teleport access to Donald's Dreamland.
I do not.
So you would want to run there. And it would be a pain to do that all the time. So you would only need to do it every once in a while, because if you sit there for about 20 minutes, people will start throwing beans. You look for a bunch of toons in one area in the middle of the playground. Like, they will just be sitting, like, on the quilted part. Like,
the quilted part.
Straight, you will see it.
Okay.
You would see it. Because it will just be, like, literally 20 toons just standing there. It's very hard to miss. Some of the time, like, they'll be saying, like, beans and stuff like that.
Okay.
They'll be saying it.
Gotcha. And do the beans, like, do they throw them up and you have to run around and catch them? Is this like a game, or do they
Nope.
just appear in your inventory?
Usually it's a couple toons that are giving them out, and it's because they did a toon task to be able to do this. They defeated the CFO in the Cashbot HQ, which is nowhere in your alley yet.
Not yet.
I've done it a few times, and I've given out beans myself. And it's just where they say this phrase, "Toons of the world unite," and then they give out beans, and it goes directly into your piggy bank.
Oh, that's fantastic. So that's kind of like in Avengers Endgame when Captain America said, "Avengers, assemble." It's kind of like the same thing. No, it's not.
I'm not sure about Avengers.
Okay, sorry. Well, okay. So I'm working on my. Are they called tracks or cells or animations?
Your soundtracks?
My soundtracks. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on the lore.
Or your gag tracks. I said soundtracks because last time I looked at what track you were working on your soundtracks. It's your gag track.
My gag track. Okay. So, so I've got one now. I think I'm working on my gag track number 9 or 10, and it says that I have to defeat a 2-story cog building, and I'm like, what is that?
So I could help you with that because I defeat 2-story buildings by myself.
Could I not defeat a 2-story building by myself?
You wouldn't want to. You probably wouldn't make it out alive.
What?
Being a 30-something laugh.
So I have to go into the building, which is something that I've not done yet. So I'm going to have to go, and I shouldn't go into the building alone.
Never go in there alone if you don't have, higher level gags. If you're a 30-something laugh, you could definitely do it, you and a higher level toon. Like, we could definitely just knock those out together.
So what's your laugh points right now?
So last week on this podcast, I was an 84 laugh, and now I am a 94.
Whoa.
My toon task last week, I had to defeat over 200 cash bots, over 200 cell bots, and boss. I'm not sure exactly, because one of them was like 250. But they were all over 200, and I did it, and I was like a 90. Now I'm a 94 because I had another toon task. I don't remember what it was. And now the toon task that I am stuck on is absolutely ridiculous. I have to go into the Cashbot mints. One of them's the dollar mint, and the other one's the bouillon mint. And I have to defeat like 100 and something skelecogs and...
A skelecog?
Yes.
What is a skelecog?
Those are found, you can find them, I think, in the Cellbot factory and in the Cashbot factories, and
I've got so much
you don't want
to
to have to get 100 of them.
I've got so much work to do because I don't know what you're talking about.
I told you, like, see, when you used to see me play, and, like, when my fiance sees me play, all you guys see is just me running around on, like, Disney World Main Street,
right.
and, with just La La Land. I told you there's more to it. Like, it's fun.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to defeat a 2-story cog. Now, how many cogs can I expect in this building? There's going to be like 2 or 3?
No, maybe like in a 2-story, like 10. Man, I mean, a lot.
So I'm
not
gonna
a ton, because I've been in a 5-story building and I can't do that myself. It takes all the tunes.
So I'm going to have to, as they say, gag up.
Yeah.
And
be
just
tuned enough.
You know something? I am tuned enough. I know I am. I'm definitely tuned enough. There's just no doubt about that. Sometimes, I mean, it's kind of strange, but I do have Toontown dreams, and I think it's because I've been playing it so much and so intently that now I actually dream about it.
I wish I dreamt about Toontown.
I mean, I'm not saying I dream about it all the time, and it's like these big intentions, but I do dream about Toontown a little bit.
I wish I lived in Toontown.
Well, I mean, we go to Walt Disney World in Florida enough, and it's kind of similar-ish.
This is true. That is true.
Yeah. What else you got? Let's see. We did a little bit of history. We went over what we did this week.
We went over our tips.
Wasn't there a YouTuber that you wanted to mention about Club Penguin Rewritten?
There is a YouTuber I would like to talk about. His name is Tiger of Wind. And sometimes, before I go on to Club Penguin, I check his stuff out to see if there's any codes I missed. And there is, websites you can go on for codes and, cheats and tricks. But I really enjoy his content. So his name is Tiger of Wind. And he makes stuff about CP3D, Club Penguin 3D, and box critters. But a lot of Club Penguin Rewritten content. He always has, the codes for coins, and he has, the catalog secrets, with all the secret, clothes and, just all types of stuff. Anytime there's, like a new party for Halloween or Christmas, like the scavenger hunts, he always is the first one with the video showing all the locations. If that's what you're into, I understand, liking to figure it out yourself with the fun of it, but I'm just one of those people who just likes to get it done so I can, go on to the next thing. So Tiger of Wind, great YouTuber, very entertaining. I highly recommend him.
I'll definitely check that out. Why don't you shoot our email address out one more time?
Sure thing. allthingsrewritten@gmail.com.
Well, that's fantastic. Annie, I think I'm going to wrap this up, and I might go play some Toontown Rewritten.
I'm right there with you.
And we'll see everybody next week.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.